You know something everyone likes about the Switch? The fact that nobody releases original games on this platform, and just keeps re-releasing the games we already own. Okay, maybe that is a bit harsh. To be fair, the Switch does have some original game, but darn it, if I'd see them re-release any more games, I will have to. Wait, is that a Mega Man collection? I have a problem. So I was talking about the Wii recently. You know that feeling when you realize you're old because the Wii released back in 2006? Oh god, it's 15 years old, what? Wii games are wonderful. They look like garbage most of the time, but the gameplay? Oh man. Tripping in Brawl was the best. I'm really not painting this thing in the best light here. I'm just going to stop talking and get to the part everyone was here for. The games I still want to see on the Switch. You know, eventually. Number 10, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy was a landmark title. It was, still is, beautiful. A graceful mixture of platforming and exploration, mostly platforming. So naturally, they made a sequel to it for the Wii U. Or a port. Anything to make the Wii U relevant? Nintendo, hello? Oh. Well, at least eventually Mario Galaxy came to the Wii U, but by then it was already too late, and didn't work with the gamepad. Mario Galaxy also came to the Switch already, but not Galaxy 2. Look, I get it, half the Super Mario 3 All-Star Collection would have been Mario Galaxy if 2 also came with it. But counter-argument, you could have just added 3D World to the collection then. But no, you had to make that its own thing, because Bowser's a Fury. Plus, wouldn't it have been nice to have both Whomp's Fortress and Throwback Galaxy on a single cartridge? So Mario Galaxy 2 is just kind of there right now, waiting for Nintendo to make a call that may never come. I don't really have much to say about Galaxy 2 itself. It's just Mario Galaxy, but more. And I dig having more Mario Galaxy levels, I am just a simple man. Number 9, Clonoa. Ah, Clonoa. The mascot that time forgot. Chances are, if you grew up with a PlayStation 1, or watched Cat Icarus, you know about Clonoa. But did you know that Clonoa was also remade for the Wii, now sporting full 3D graphics? I'll say that I personally adore the sprite work for the characters, possibly even prefer them, but the environments... Now they definitely needed the loving touch the Wii version provided. It's very easy to get lost in the whimsical world of this 2.5D platformer. And I'm not here to say that we need more platformers, okay? We really don't. But Clonoa's legacy goes forgotten so often when it really has no right to. Please, I implore you, play this game for yourself. At number 8 we have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. So this one's kind of a cheat edition. You wanna know why? It's because this is a DS game ported to the Wii. No kidding, to make this game work, they legitimately made a dual screen display on the Wii. Why? How? Well, regardless of the ideas at play here, the fact of the matter is that this game is a solid title. I've always loved the different worlds of the Crystal Chronicles series, harkening back to a Final Fantasy of old, where Machina were fewer and farther between, and it was a more medieval fantasy-esque thing all around. I just like swords and lances and stuff like that, and this game provided in spades, okay? What I always found extra interesting in this one though was that you could play basically the entire game cooperatively, and after the failure of Crystal Chronicles Remastered, I want to see them try again, but with an easier game to remake at base, because while I don't trust any Square remasters probably until I finally get around playing Final Fantasy VII and its remake, I have no doubt that remaking Echoes of Time into a fun online multiplayer game wouldn't be too much of a challenge. Because it already was. Rest in peace, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Just don't try and make this a phone version. Number 7. A whole bunch of Mario sports games. I could not decide which ones I needed most. Quite interestingly, Mario Tennis, Strikers and Sluggers are all either sequels or straight up ports of GameCube games at their core. So why not all 3? Each of these games are lovingly filled up with tons and tons of content and boasts interesting and unique gameplay, and each of these games still have their audience until this day, for various reasons. For extra flavor, add a Mario Golf game to the mix to really stick it to the original Mario sports games on Switch. These are better in pretty much every way than their current offerings, and while it will likely never happen, I kinda just want Mario Sports developers to remember what made Mario Sports games good in the first place, so being forced to work on the old stuff might just be a good idea. I don't know, I just really like Mario Tennis, but not ever since it left the Wii, to be honest. Continuing on with the Wii Sports trend, we have at number 6, Wii Sports! Featuring 5 iconic sports such as tennis, baseball, golf, bowling, boxing, and adding Wii Sports Resort onto the same cartridge would be great, because let's face it, even if it's amazing, Wii Sports is just not worth $60. Now a collection with resorts on the other hand, that is so much more reasonable. I personally never really got into Wii Sports Resort too much when I was younger, but that's mostly because just using the Wii Motion Plus could be such a pain. So I'm really hoping that we could one day revisit this game, but with better controllers. At number 5, we have Pikmin and Pikmin 2, another set of games and another one I feel like I'm cheating with, because I feel like these somewhat belong together, but also they're GameCube games. Oh well. Well, mechanically, they are incredibly similar. Pikmin and Pikmin 2 are fundamentally very different games, with the first one playing out more like a time attack arcade-style RTS game, wrap your head around that one, where you want to improve your score or even just not get a bad ending. And the second one being a collectathon RTS with unlimited time? Pikmin isn't too widely known despite inclusion in Nintendo System Software Smash games, but it's easy to see why. It has about as many releases as F-Zero does. I do believe Pikmin 3 is a great game as well, don't get me wrong, but it's not a substitute for the unique experiences of 1 and 2, and simply having the option to start at the first game might have done wonders for Pikmin 3 as well. Pikmin 3 Deluxe should have been Pikmin Trilogy. Wait, that being said, at number 4, we have Metroid Prime Trilogy. And if you know me, you might be surprised. Eon, you don't even like Metroid. Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean I don't respect the hell out of the franchise and its fans. Metroid Prime is awesome. I don't really think I need to sit here and sing its praises, there are plenty of people who've already done that. It's got a lot of good going for it, the games already work great with button controls and motion controls. There's simply not a lot you have to do to make these games work on Switch. Maybe even include Metroid Prime Hunters, since then you have the full Prime series ready to play through in your anticipation of Metroid Prime 4, which will come out eventually. And now before I go into the top 3, I just want to go through some honorable mentions and why they didn't make the list, despite being amazing in their own rights. So, honorable mentions, lightning round, go! Monster Hunter Tri, phenomenal game, has a newer version, goodbye Log Lack City. Samurai Warriors 3, I don't remember much of this one to be honest, but it was a good Musou game. Pokemon Battle Revolution, probably the most well thought out battle simulator out there. Fluid and modern style of battles and showcase here has not been replicated by the franchise yet, which is a shame because the new games are... Super Smash Bros. Brawl, tripping, yay, Ultimate Existence, basically Brawl 3 Melee Boogaloo. Mario Kart Wii, a well-beloved, phenomenal Mario Kart experience that people still play to this very day. The only reason this doesn't make my list is just because I want to see some new tracks at this point. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I don't want to see new Super Mario Bros. I found the honorable mention list empty without it. It was the first time we got simultaneous 2D Mario and would become a staple from then on. Donkey Kong Country returns. This monkey game needs to see a return, but with the 3DS port being a thing and Tropical Freeze doing this whole thing where the sole existing thing on Switch, I would find it hard to pay for this game at full price yet again. And now back to the list. Whew. You know, that was actually kind of hard to do. At number 3, we have a very different game from everything in this list, with Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Muramasa was originally a Wii exclusive title before it's made its way to PS Vita with Muramasa Rebirth, and can you name a darker fate than being stuck on the PS Vita after you initially sold below expectations? Muramasa is an excellent action RPG with a focus on 2 characters, a boy named Kisuke and a girl named Momohime, set in Edo-era Japan. Both their stories will intertwine at some points, but it doesn't really matter which one you pick first. Weapon progression is somewhat linked between the 2 stories, and thus promotes playing both at the same time, which can be confusing. The reason I want to see this game return is because it's very clear to me that this is just such an excellent game. The motions are fluid, every button press feels impactful. You never really feel like you're going through the motions in this game. It's an action RPG, so it's not really grindy either. Most obstacles can be overcome with skill alone. It's definitely one of those games where you can replay it over and over, and just watch yourself get noticeably faster at it. Also, did I mention this game's art is absolutely insane? I am just such a sucker for Vanillaware's artsy games, man. I have nothing else to say, I need this game back in my life. Oh, and bring over Odin Sphere while you're at it, okay? At number 2, we have Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and I know this is number 2, and I should have much more to say, but it's multiplayer Kirby, and I love multiplayer Kirby. And having to pull out the Wii to play this gem with some friends would just be a dream, yeah? Plus, this game just has some really stellar level design, and I love the amount of stuff there is to collect. And, you know, do. So yeah, Kirby's Adventure Switch. Let's do it. Number 1. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn is the sequel to the beloved game in the Fire Emblem franchise, Awakening. Path of Radiance. That was the correct one? Okay, there we go. It follows the story of the blue-haired anime boy as it continues from Path of Radiance, with one conflict's end and it just kind of follows up? Which is quite unheard of for Fire Emblem games, since most of them just kind of go, and then the evil empire died and all was well with the world and peace lasted forever, the end. And the Path of Radiance story is great. Ike is practically universally loved, partially due to Smash. And just look at how many alts he has in Fire Emblem Heroes. The man is practically male Camilla at this point. So why did Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn fail so badly? Well, there's a different game that might have had something to do with that. It's because kids probably didn't go, "Mother, I wish for that one," when faced with the option of buying either Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn or Super Mario Galaxy. It was also a Wii sequel to a GameCube game, which I won't claim to understand at all. Why couldn't it just be a GameCube game? The widescreen is nice, but I mean, I know Fire Emblem fans would probably already have purchased a Wii, but now you need a whole different game console just to experience the full thing, and that's not something you should expect. We'll get to you eventually, Kingdom Hearts. This game failed hard at launch compared to what it should have done, because Nintendo released this game at the worst possible time and in the worst possible way. And Radiant Dawn is actually so good, like really, really good. The Tellius series could have been its own long-running thing level of good. So I want to see Tellius return. But Nintendo, if and when you eventually do that, please, please add Path of Radiance to the package. Don't force Radiant Dawn to die another tragic death by not releasing the duology together. Nintendo, I beg you, I don't want to see this game die a second time. So hey, those are 10, well, more, games I would love to see on the Nintendo Switch that originally made their home base on Wii. Do you agree with some of these? Do you have some different picks? Let me know down in the comments, and in the meantime, I'll continue crying over spilled Fire Emblem like the child I truly am. But hey, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, maybe a subscribe so I know you liked it, and I'll be able to send it to Nintendo, and we'll totally get all the games I mentioned and you guys mentioned in the comments out on Switch, yeah? Alright, I'll see you later, bye!